to Medical Dialogues. I am Dr. Nandita Mohan, and today I will be taking you all to explore the world of rare diseases. And my topic for today is cold urticaria. Now, to help us understand this in a little bit detail, we have with us today Dr. Saji Feroz, who's a dermatology and cosmetology consultant in Trivandrum. Her area of expertise includes advanced cosmetic procedures for skin lightening, tightening, scar reduction, and even hair reduction, anti-aging treatment with Botox, fillers, all types of medical lasers, PRP injections for hair growth, and punch grafting for vitiligo, pain-free dermatosurgeries for skin lesion removal, biopsies, earlobe repair, nail surgeries, chemical peel for pimples, dermabrasion for scars, electrocautery and cryotherapy for skin lesions, all these to name a few. So welcome to Medical Dialogues, ma'am. It's really a pleasure to be interviewing you here today.
Yeah. Okay. I'm now talking about a rare topic called cold urticaria. It is an uncommon form of chronic inducible urticaria. It is called it's a rare disease because it occurs in 0.05% of the population. The thing is that the patient develops wheals on exposure to cold. As you can see in the picture, the patient has wheals, urticarial wheals on exposure to cold. What are the common triggers? The most common trigger is swimming in cold water. So patients will experience these urticarial wheals when they go to cold rooms and when they are in contact with cold objects, cold water, cold foods, cold surface, snow, etc. And in our point of view, severe reaction, that is the patient is exposed to cold rooms, is during the surgery under general anesthesia. And what are the types of cold urticaria? There are primary cold urticaria conditions and secondary cold urticaria conditions. Primary, the cause is unknown. It's idiopathic cold urticaria. And the conditions associated with secondary cold urticaria are certain infections and immunizations and some blood dyscrasias. Usually cryoglobulinemia, then chronic lymphatic leukemia, lymphosarcoma. Then some infections like chickenpox, viral hepatitis, IMN, syphilis, etc. And some immunization. All these are causes of secondary cold urticaria. And what are the signs and symptoms of cold urticaria? The symptoms usually develop within 2 to 5 minutes on exposure to cold, and it lasts for 1 to 2 hours. It can be localized at the site of contact or it can be generalized. Usually we see itchy wheals on the site of exposure, cold exposure. And sometimes the patient can have some systemic symptoms like shortness of breath, wheezing, abdominal pain, tachycardia, etc. And in most severe cases, the patient can develop hypotension, shock, or even death. How do you diagnose cold urticaria? There is a test called cold stimulation test. That means an ice cube can be wrapped in a thin plastic bag and then applied to forearm. And usually the urticaria, the patient presents with a red swollen rash on the area of contact within 2 to 5 minutes when the ice cube is removed. And the other test that can be used to diagnose underlying conditions, the causes of secondary cold urticaria like blood count, ESR, CRP. Then cryoglobulin can be done. Then viral markers can be done. Then viral markers, then peripheral smear. All these tests can be done to diagnose cause of secondary cold urticaria. And what is the treatment of choice for cold urticaria? Usually the patient can modify their lifestyle to avoid the cold flares. Then another thing is that they can cause cold tolerance desensitization by cautious induction of cold tolerance. That is, a patient can take daily cold showers and thereby induce cold tolerance. That can be done. Then usually we see that the symptoms resolve in 30% in 5 to 10 years. Usually we see that regular antihistamines are ineffective for this condition, and high dose of non-sedative antihistamines may be useful. Then other medicines like mast cell stabilizers, ketotifen, then cyproheptadine, stronger antihistamines like doxepin, all these can be tried. And in severe cases, we can try systemic corticosteroids and even immunosuppressants like cyclosporine. And in recalcitrant disease, we can try the monoclonal antibody called omalizumab, 150 milligram weekly, every 4 weeks, and those can even be doubled if we need more control. And how can we, what are the advice that we can give to a patient with cold urticaria? That they should be very cautious in cold conditions. So avoid swimming in cold water, then supervised aquatic activities only. Because they can develop hypotension and even drowning risk in water. And the patient should understand that in a cold weather, warm clothes will be very helpful. And also, the patient can, in case of very anaphylactic reactions, the patient has to carry an emergency adrenaline tray also, EpiPen or something like that. Then the most important thing, I think this is the last slide or so, because what the most important thing regarding doctors is that it is most important during general anesthesia. So some precautions like body temperature monitoring is important. And so operation room should be given a warm uniform temperature, and then we can infuse warm IV fluids prior to operation. Then warming blankets can be given, and pre-operative non-sedative antihistamines may be useful. First of all, we have to inform the anesthetist that the patient has a risk of cold urticaria, so that he can be cautious. And some histamine releasing drugs and other drugs with high risk of inducing anaphylaxis can be avoided. This is the most important thing, and we have to know that this condition lasts a little longer because it takes longer time for this to get controlled, and we can have lifestyle modifications and this aquatic activities. These is very important. And most important thing is that the severity of the condition depends upon the exposed area, then the temperature, and the duration of exposure.
Great. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us a brief insight about the entire disease. And definitely, all the points that you've marked are going to be helpful for an early diagnosis. And if old cold urticaria is diagnosed earlier, then as the diagnostic tests you just mentioned, it's a cold stimulation test. If that can severely be an early done for a patient, then definitely it can be caught early. So thank you so much once again for joining us in Medical Dialogues and giving us all your valuable insights.
Okay, thank you.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.